welcome to ANCM Dog Training School. At the moment, we've just got Marley. So Marley is doing a lot of puppy training at the moment. You are, aren't you? Yes, you are. Good boy. Up, Marley, up. Good boy. Right, Marley, heel. Marley, heel. Marley, heel. No. Come on. Heel. 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 Hey, back here. Heel. 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 Marley, heel. Come on. Come on. Come on. Marley, it's here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Right, Marley. Sit. Wait. Go. Find it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Sit. Wait. Find it. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Right, ready? Marley. 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 Find it. Find it. Yes, good boy, Marley. Sit, sit. Stay. Come here. Come here. Yes. Stay. Stay. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Lie down. Good boy. Yes. Good. Lie down. Good boy. So soon we will have other dogs with us training. At the moment, it is just me and Marley. Today I'm just going to go through some little bits, talk to you about what the basic stuff that I've been doing with Marley. So from when he came to me at 13 weeks, he had no training at all, apart from his normal toilet training. But then obedience skills, manners, and all that kind of stuff. Threshold training, he didn't have. He was jumping, he was biting, and also the gills were petrified of him. Until he then came to me, I did everything backwards. So I watched as many YouTube videos as I could on how to train puppies, and then didn't really follow a structure until I took the Perfect Puppy course. I will leave a link in the description to that course if that's something that you want to go and take. If you're just about to get a new puppy, highly recommend that you do that course. All I did from watching all of those different videos on YouTube, I was just focusing on just normal, just heel work. Obviously, he was a bit too young for the stuff that I was learning. That's for bigger dogs, more advanced stuff. But he did get it, and I'm glad that I did do it, because then when I did do this puppy course, starting from scratch, so literally instead of coming out here, I stayed at home with him, and in the living room, just in a small space, all I was doing for him to teaching him to sit was literally luring a treat, getting him then to just follow it, and then he would naturally sit. I would then say yes, give him the treat, and then repeat that same process. Once I could see that he was getting used to that, and he was just voluntarily every time I let him out of his cage or wherever we went, and he just sat naturally, then I knew I could then move on to the next step. So all I would do was, because I didn't really have anybody else to work with on his recall, so I would just be in a living room or even in the kitchen or in a hallway. Hallways are probably better where it's narrow and he can't really go anywhere. But if he's got any other distractions around the room, then your puppy will go off and try and go and get a toy or something like that. So keep it into a confined space for them. But all I was doing was literally just getting a treat. Molly, keeping him on a house line, and then I'd throw the treat. Molly, go. He would then go and get it. I would say, yes, Molly. And then when he came back to me, Molly, then that's when I'll give him another treat then. So he knows that every time he comes back to me, he's going to get rewarded for it. But pro tip, go and get some high value treats. I bought a lot of the ones from Pets at Home and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, they did work, but he wasn't really interested. So what I did do, I went and got some pate, and this, which is the stuff that I'm using now, and he absolutely loves it. But then once I could see that his recall in the house was really good, then I started to take that a little bit more advanced. So instead of me throwing treats out to him and then him coming back in that kind of area, I would then put other options in place for him, for him then to get distracted, and trying to then get him to focus on me. For ages he would not focus on me at all. When we walked around, he would not look at me like he is now. His head was just in the ground, and that was it. He would follow me, but that's as far as it went on his obedience. Molly, sit, stay. Yes, good boy, stay. Then once obviously that was his then recall. So starting from the beginning, and then I went on to his mealtime routine. So his manners for meal times would be, I could actually show you because I've got some food in a tub here. And all I do, Molly, come. And all I do is I'd have his tub, I'd shake it so he knows what it is. Still, see. So the only thing really that I need to focus on with him is him jumping. And he will grow out of that. The more I do, obviously, the corrections, he will stop. But what I did with this was I showed him, I got him to sit, then I'd tell him to stay. I would then place it down, and then I would just leave it. And I would just, on my phone, I would count. Well, I'd have a timer. Started off with 1 minute, then I would say, Molly, break. And then he would then go and obviously get his treat. So then what I started to do was, this was in the house when he would have his food. So we'd have his food like 4 times a day, and every time he'd have his food, he would then obviously do this every time. My daughters, when I started doing this with him, they were telling me that I was mean. They were like, Daddy, why are you being mean to Marley for? Give him his food. But then when I explained to the girls and taught the girls why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing, they quickly understood. They absolutely love him now. They cuddle him and everything. They play with him. They walk him around this park. He can now chase them, and they will run, and they won't be afraid. But then what I started to do was I took it to another level. So I brought his food out here for when he trained, and I would take a bit of his food for his training food. But then when all of that had gone, then I would sit down with him and give him his meal. But what I did was had the lid on. I would place it down. I would then move it. I'd then move it again. I'd move it again. So now I'm working on his threshold training. Then what I would do is I would take the lid off. Molly, sit, stay, place it down. And then just see, and then just watch and wait for whatever it is that he's going to do. Then what I'd do is go, Molly, heel, and then I'd walk around. I'd be like, leave it, Molly, this way. Just walk past, leave it, every time. Every time, leave it, Molly, sit, Molly, stay. Yes, good boy. Then obviously once I was happy, then I would allow him to eat his food. Then obviously on his threshold drills, I then, every time we walked out of the door, he would have to sit and stay. He would have to sit and wait. Then when I walked out of the door, he would then be able to come. If we then went inside, he would have to do the exact same. Every time he goes in and out of the car, he would do the exact same. He would always sit and wait. Everywhere we go, just so if I've got somebody who's going to take him out for a walk, I don't want them to open the front door. He then bolts out of the front door whilst they're holding the lead, not paying attention, and then they get pulled. That person's then going to get hurt. Marley is either going to hurt himself. So whenever somebody does have Marley or something like that, I make sure that they understand that this is what he needs to do before he does anything. They can't allow him to do his own thing. Molly. Yes. And yeah, just so they know exactly what to do so they can keep up with his level of training. He's 5 months old now, and he's gone through everything from the very beginning through this puppy course, and every single thing that he's doing is absolutely brilliant. So I've gone from obviously week 1, I'm up to week 5, month 5 now. So where he is, the level that the age that he is, he's actually everything that he's doing, all of the drills, all of the training every day, he is actually at month 5 now. So he has caught up very quick, and that's because of obviously just me learning as much as I can, and then me drilling everything every single day as many times as I can. So I've just forgot about everything else and just focused literally on him and his training. And the reason for that is because of how afraid the girls were of him when he was 8 weeks all the way up until he was 13 weeks. They were petrified of him. So I needed to fix that because I wanted the girls to really enjoy having a puppy. But then Molly, yeah, so for now it is literally just maintaining everything that I've learned, everything that he's been learning, and the next thing on the list is leave it, Molly. Yes, that's what you can play with, dude. You can't play with your leads, so otherwise you'll have to go and buy you a new one. So the last thing that we need to do for Marley is just teach him place. So I'm gonna wait until next month when he is 6 months, because obviously going through the course, that is the last thing that he needs to learn. So I'm not just gonna rush it. I'm literally gonna do it when he's 6 months, and then introduce place into his daily routine. So he does know place a little bit. So whenever I've opened the car door, he will then jump in, but before he does, he sits, he stays, and then I tell him place, and he will jump into his seat in the car, and he now naturally just does that every single time now. Molly, come here. Sit, stay, break. Molly, what's this? Molly, what's this? You need to put it back, dude. That's not what you play with. This is what you play with. Oh, so his crate training, actually. So when I first started doing his crate training, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I was just following what people were saying on their videos, and also what people say on the videos, they don't really give you that much information. So that's why I decided to take this puppy training course and actually understand what it is that I'm doing when I'm doing crate training. And to get him in and out of his crate, all I would do was just throw a treat in there. Every time he went to it, I'd say crate. When he came back out, then I would just throw a treat on the floor and tell him to brake. So I was teaching him his brake command at the same time. And then we would just keep repeating that. Then he would cry a lot when he was in his crate, especially times after, like now, I take him back, he will go in his crate and he will go and sleep, and he would cry a lot until I then put a toy in his crate with him. So this is a Barc London rope throwing tug toy, and when I put this in there with him, he was absolutely fine. Like for hours, he just would not make a noise. And whenever if he did wake up, he'd just chew on this. His lead and collar is Barc London lead and collar. Literally everything he has is Barc London. I did buy a slip collar for him. So the one I've got on here is a slip lead. That's for when I'm walking anywhere with him, he will wear this. So I take that one off, he will then wear this. I did have a slip collar, which was just a cheap one off Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description if you wanted to get one, because it is cheap and it will do you for now. But he chewed it in half the other day. So I'm now going to go and invest in a long line slip lead and a slip collar from Will Atherton, and I'll leave a link to obviously his products as well in the description, so you can go and have a look at them. But yeah, that's basically it. That is literally all I'm doing at the moment with Marley and his training. And he's doing absolutely brilliant. For 5 months, he's doing very, very well. So I'm going to continue doing this over the next, obviously, 7 months until he's 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking an advanced dog trainer's course. So then I can work properly with bigger dogs. But whilst obviously at the moment I'm taking this, I've finished this puppy course, then I will be then just training puppies. So hopefully in future videos you will see me training other dogs, walking other dogs as well. It is just me on my own at the moment, so the camera is going to have to be static. I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me, but just enjoy the videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, Molly, come on. What's this? 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 Go, Molly, go. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Molly, Molly, this way. Molly, this way. Molly, sit. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Heel. Molly, nope.